Game number 3.
Man, it starts, like I said, in the jungle. I'm always admiring these Transformer skins, by the way, because I heard them announce it on the analyst desk, and now we get to see it in action. So now, starting on the jungle, I'm expecting typical things. The one advantage to early game that Todak really has, anytime you have the Franco, that threat potential is so big, especially early game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is going to be a really, really tough one here. But as of now, Smart Omega looks like they are going to try and force something here, but it's only level 1. I'm a little bit surprised that they are trying to do this, considering that they don't exactly have a power spike. But at the same time, if E2 Max gets a kill right here, right now, and hits his level 3, he's going to be a big problem for Todak.
Right now, man, I mean, standard things is what we're going to see here, right? Chiku versus Kelra. These two, when it comes down to these two gold laners, honestly, it's just a skill matchup at that point because we talked about the hero matchups himself, and usually it goes against what we say. So I feel like that's going to be in its own right, and also it'll really rely on what Chaknu and Yumes can pull off for their gold lanes.
I feel like as of now, it feels like Todak, they won't be going for the usual Langa strategy. They're going to rely more on Yumes' perspective rather than having Chiku making out these plays. We are expecting a little bit of engagement coming from Formies, especially on the bottom side. But what can Masha do except for mirroring Uranus? Because he's not going to be able to come online until maybe what? Level 8, level 9, probably 2 or 3 items. And even then, his sole objective is going to be making sure that Kelra as well as E2 Max doesn't have a good laning phase. And that is still very difficult to do so, especially up against a Uranus who's right in your face and constantly having the sustains to actually overcome these fights.
I mean, I don't really know what happened there in that mid side, but it was actually able to force E2 Max to retreat, and now Chakno, only the man down in that particular area, is going to be chunked to quite low, and that's kind of sus, understanding that they are going to be trying to test for this next objective. I mean, we can already see here Renzio trying to zone out Momo away, but Momo steals that turtle. This is a huge moment, but the Beta Links connect and the real world manipulation goes into clutch here, and it is going to be one member taken down from both sides, traded back straight away, and Moon is caught in a weird situation. He is receiving a lot of damage, learning that Renzio here is very aggressive on that lane.
Yeah, they managed to punish the jungler, but at the same time, it's just so costly. And look at this, Yumes, he's doing a fantastic job with the hooks, but the problem here remains. They can't exactly force 5v5 fights. The Fatal Links can be very detrimental from the side of Todak's composition because of how the wombo combo comes in. Even though you go in it as well, so what? What can you do? We've got so much CCs coming from Omega, and there's nothing Todak can do until probably, what, mid to late stage game, which is pretty much 8 minutes into the game.
This is tough because anytime you have an Atlas across from you, you know, they only have the one Purify, right? So anyone that happens to be caught in that Chaknu Fatal Links is it's going to be fatal, right? Pun intended. And that's how it's going to be playing out. We saw it in that first turtle fight. And nothing, I mean, these guys don't even have items yet. You saw the damage potential already. So again, Todak has to be wary about those setups coming out from Chaknu alone. Meanwhile, you still have to make sure that Chiku is able to get where he needs to be on this Popo and Koopa.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here onto Formaze, but Formaze is going to go down with so much pressure coming in from Ryzen as well as Renzio. They have put a lot of emphasis, and luckily enough, Ryzen gets out of their life, but you know who doesn't? Chaknu.
Yep, that is huge coming from Todak, but at the same time, Smart Omega definitely came up on top with that fight as well, considering that they need to actually put up to the metal. They need to keep up with this aggression, and Todak looks like they are going to try and pummel through with Chico, allowing him to get his whole plating. E2 Max will be in a little bit of trouble as well to force the issue, but here comes the Fatal Link combo.
Uh-oh, 3 men down here. The real world manipulation gets popped off as well as E2 Max goes in very aggressively into that backside. Chico here running for his life. Unfortunately enough, it won't be a kill onto Ryzen, but the kill is going to be placed onto E2 Max instead as Kelra goes in crazy there with that ultimate, and he will be able to take one member down, but is that going to be worth it? Because 2 versus 1, one usually goes down, but another trade is happening on the board. Ryzen here, is he able to make out of it alive? But unfortunately, the answer is no once again, and trades after trades all across the board.
Oh my goodness, beautiful execution coming from Yus. He's paid for his life to buy time for his team, and his team was able to adapt. However, Momo in a very difficult spot, but with the help of Moon, everyone from the side of Smart Omega is gonna back up. But look at this for Maze. He wants a little bit more. I don't think he can get this kill, but he is trying to be as annoying as they can. But his HP bar is not necessarily good enough to sustain this. He might be in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't even have sprint right now, but oh no, is not that bad yet. But on the bottom side, while the distraction was on his way, they get a pick off onto his Kara 2 times in a row. Todak, they bounce back.
What is going on? In literally 2 minutes, just kill after kill, both sides. This is just, again, going back to the term, it's scrappy as heck, and that's what's happening for both of them. Now, this big objective coming up here, the turtle, I'm not sure even who can actually secure this one. It's actually going to be Momo.
Yeah, those fatal links actually connect here as the real world manipulation got popped off at the right time. But look at this, E2 Max, no, he goes down once again. Todak here in the upper hand will be able to get another objective on the board, as once again it is going to be for Maze and Renzio in a unlimited stalemate.
Yep, look, as of now, based on the emblems as well, we do see nothing out of the ordinary yet, but looks like the fight is about to break down. Yumes, they get the cash onto his Chakno. He couldn't even do anything. No fatal links for you, and that's going to transition into his tier 2 for Todak. And just like that, they're getting objectives after objectives. We've talked about the wombo combo coming from Omega, and it's not working out. But Kara, oh, the hook! The hook! Barely an inch. Imagine if that hits. Smart Omega's momentum is going to get completely shoved away.
I don't know if, I mean, that's confidence to just recall right there, especially when a Franco's on the map, so he gets back. But at the same time, right, look at the small gold lead that Todak has gone ahead and built for themselves. They're going to continue to work around that, and right now you can see even the damage dealt department, Moon is doing a great job here at even handling all the tools that Smart Omega can throw at him to cancel out that real manipulation. It's not going to be enough.
Yeah, it might not be enough, as it is going to be Yumes here looking for an engage, but luckily there is so much support coming in from the side of Omega, but the Fatal Links connects, and Chakno will be able to get 3 members. Where is the support though? As Ryzen here is now in a weird situation. Chakno goes down, Renzio 4 versus 1, he's running away for his life. He doesn't want to get taken down, especially before this next objective.
Oh, this is so smart coming from Todak. They know that the combo is coming from Omega. It's going to be relying on Changno's Fatal Links in towards E2 Max enhanced chains. But at the same time, because E2 Max used his skill a little bit too early and forced to disengage from the get-go, they're not afraid of the Fatal Links at all. And this is huge from Todak because they finally found the small weakness in the defense and the combos of the drafts coming from Omega. And because of that, they're pummeling the way through, trying to scale a little bit more. And look at this, with the power of Popo, they're just taking towers after towers, getting so much economy and value out of all these engagements.
That's huge because look at it. It's 5 turrets in favor of Todak. Smart Omega has 0. They have no space. They have no objectives. They're being completely choked out right now. And it's forcing them to actually just stay together because at any moment, you either get iron hooked by Yumes, Momo finds you, Maze is running around all over the place, and Moon is just unstoppable right now on this eve.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is a very difficult situation for Smart Omega. They need to find a way to deal with all this beefy composition. Early on, they didn't exactly have it, but now Momo is in a position where he's just so very tanky. Chico is as well left completely uncontested, and having a 1-up against Kelra is putting in a spot where he's got so much confidence to actually re-engage in all these fights. And Smart Omega, however, they need to find a way to closen the gap of this 4.6k lead difference.
I mean, that's gonna be hard, isn't it? Like, every time he goes in for that chain link or the fatal links and so on and so forth, the problem is that real world manipulation gets popped off and it inhibits the movement from Ryzen.
I mean, right now you can see the results of that, right? Smart Omega forced to stay together. They might be looking to make a play here. Not going to connect just yet.
Yeah, no, not just yet here. The concealed play does come through, but it actually will be figured out. But wait a minute, Suppress gets knocked up here in that moment, and Ryzen is forced to retreat. We can see here so much damage has been placed onto Renzio as the Fatal Links connects onto 2 members. The real world manipulation is close to follow, but unfortunately another member goes down as Chico will be the one to fall. E2 Max now 3v1 situation. Another one goes down to the hands of Omega as once again Todak reaches that point of supremacy, looking for more objectives on the board.
Oh, Chaknu's tries to recall. He's always very true, but he's actually going to get scouted out. But this is going to be Atlas. He's buying time for his team. And Todak, once again, you thought Chiku was the man, but he's secretly Moon. Look at this burst. He might burst him down, and Todak, they get another one. And just like that, Smart Omega, they underestimated and prioritized on the wrong person. And guess what? The true carry here has got to be Moon himself.
As you can see, right, Moon also just picked up the Winter Trancha here. That's going to be a huge pickup. Also paired with that Purify, I think it's going to be almost nearly impossible to stop Moon doing what he has to do. I mean, he has no deaths, right? So at this point, you can see key pickups also coming up from Chiku, and this is pretty much a disaster for Smart Omega right now, because now that that first Lord comes up, how do you even fight this? How do you contest this? You really either have to get lucky or pull something off.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but it seems like Todak, they understand his position. They are going to go for the wraparound, but look at the positioning of where Chiku is. He's trying to go for a solo kill, but I don't think the Lord is a objective coming from Todak, because as of now, they're getting a little bit feisty, and Yumes, oh no, he made a mistake. He got pulled back, and just like that, they get a 1-for-1 trade, a tank for an XP, absolutely worth it.
Absolutely worth it here, but we'll see what happens. I mean, the way that they're able to manipulate those waves is so beautiful, but look at this. Chakno already looking for a Moon. Unfortunately, cannot connect. The real world population gets popped off, but it gets cancelled by E2 Max as he goes in straight for that backline, and that is a huge resource wasted for Maze here, trying to do what he can, looking for an engage, but it cannot be done as there is no follow-up for the moment, but the job has been done. Todak already on its way to get the next objective in this Lord.
I definitely agree, but E2 Max from behind, he's gonna get caught up, and for Maze, looking for a little bit of plays, but looks like E2 Max is gonna be sitting out this fight. If he forces this issue, he's gonna die off, but the Lord is gonna be taken in the hands of Todak, and this is huge for them. But now, I wanna talk about the layers of variation when it comes to itemizations, right? Great, Smart Omega, they've adapted. They realize that Moon is a big threat. But the question remains, how will Kelra deal with the blade armor being set up by both the Baxia as well as the Masha? Because he needs some sort of sustain to tank through this reflect that is coming in. And time again, eventually, he is going to die to his own damage.
I think right now, again, you just have to buy time, right? Yeah, itemization doesn't work in your favor. You're getting counter-built here right now. And at the same time, you have to worry about this Lord. So this is a similar situation to what happened to before. They have to buy time, turtle up in their base, do the best to get online for those, I mean, individual heroes. Edu Max, you saw it earlier in that team fight.
The hook!
Oh, the hook, though.
The hook connects onto E2 Max, and E2 Max will be the first to fall. That is a wonderful pickup from the side of Todak, and one man down, a Lord on the way in the top side. Things are not looking good at all for Omega. I mean, look at the decision coming in from Momo. He goes in very aggressively into that backline. The real world population has been opened up, but the Fatal Links connects as well, but no!
Oh no,
Jack,
Todak.
no! He goes down. You can see all so much damage has been placed onto the members of Omega.
That's
Todak, one member down. It is going to be Todak dethroning the champion.